Well, I think a long-term for most investors, a long-term approach and perspective is critically important. I think if anything, most investors, the biggest problem that most investors have is that they're actually trying to time things
Yep.
on a tactical basis. And if you've come from sort of the traditional, from the sophisticated asset market business, and investing business, the way I've spent 20 years basically building sophisticated systematic investment strategies. There is a lot of work to get to the point where you think you have edge in timing markets over 3, 6, 9, 12-month time frame. For most investors, you can't beat, the people who are pouring money into beating the market and building hedge funds and things like that. And so you're much better off focused on how do you build a long-term strategic portfolio that's going to be successful for you, that, over time will work out, from the time that you save to the time that you retire.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the rise of brokerage accounts, individual brokerage accounts, it's really easy now to go open an account at Charles Schwab or public.com or Robinhood or whatever it may be, and you can start investing immediately, right? And I think a lot of people are doing that. And you see the trends, like there's a lot of trends where there's money leaving these institutional financial advisory practices because people are starting to think, why would I spend all this money paying fees, right, to somebody who's managing this mutual fund, charging me a 2% fee when I could just invest in an index fund that charges 0 point something X%, right? Well, I think with this trend, you see a lot of people opening these individual brokerage accounts. They get wind over here that XYZ stock is going to double over the next 6 months, and they just go buy it, right? Or their friend tells them, oh, I have a buddy who developed this algorithm. This is something I heard recently. They developed this algorithm and they're just making a ton of money. So like, I'm going to pay them for this course, or I'm going to like invest my money with them. And then their, $20,000 goes down to $2. So talk a little bit about that, what you're seeing in the market with hype or with gambling or with speculating. What are your thoughts on that?
I am sympathetic to folks who feel like the traditional infrastructure for asset management isn't really serving them. It's true that like your old school financial advisor that puts you into 60/40 and charges you a few hundred basis points in fees, like mostly sucks.
Yeah.
And so finding an opportunity that's outside that infrastructure makes a ton of sense. But I think the challenge is that people think, particularly after sort of 15 years where stocks have mostly gone up basically in a relatively straight line, that they can pick what's likely to be a winner and what's likely not to be a winner. And the reality is that that's very hard. And if you've been around a few cycles as an institutional asset manager, the thing that you have most of all is the humility to understand how hard it is to pick, and any one stock in any one time frame maybe goes up, maybe it goes down. But as the day-to-day, the retail investor, who you're betting against on that are the most sophisticated asset managers in the world, and the odds that you do better than them are pretty low. And so you might make money. Actually, if anything, it's the worst thing to do is to make money on sort of your short on some very, small stock, concentrated stock bets, because then you'll keep going in just in the way you will if you make money at the blackjack table, keep putting bets on, thinking that you can chase those positive returns. And ultimately, the vast majority of small scale investors lose money trading individual stocks, like that. The dumb money folks, right? The vast majority of those people lost money trading individual meme stocks. And that's what you have to remember. Much better to focus on a strategic portfolio that you can live with than trying to trade day to day.
Exactly.